So you asked the question, how many beneficiaries can you have on an annuity? I mean, you must be from the South like I am. I'm from the Charlotte, North Carolina area originally. I don't live there now, but family is back there. And we have these huge families. So I guess I was thinking about, that question come in and then going to do a video and I'm like, hey, that makes sense. I'm assuming you've got this huge family. I'm like, how many people are going to put down on the annuity? Short answer is as many as you want. But I want to go a little bit further into that and kind of explain the layers of how to layer beneficiaries within an annuity. Even though it's revocable, meaning you can change it at your whim because you're the owner of the annuity, the short answer is you can have as many as humanly possible. I mean, you can fill out form after form after form. And I have seen a ton, like families with 20 kids and grandkids. I've seen and done those forms for my clients, making sure that the annuity is going to go in those percentages. But hang in there with me. I'm going to grab a pen. We'll kind of go through some scenarios that maybe apply to you, and maybe we'll evoke a question that you'll contact me at stantheannuityman.com and we'll put something together for you. Okay, so once again, how many beneficiaries can you have on an annuity? Infinity is the answer to that question, so you could have as many as humanly possible. You're thinking about getting an annuity, or you might already have an annuity, and if you do already have an annuity, now you know that you can change the beneficiaries on it, right? Okay, so let's talk about that. So here's your annuity, and this is typically how I see people structure it, all right? So you have, I'm assuming you're married. Okay, so you're married, you have a spouse, and you have kids, and you have grandkids, and let's just say you even have a trust. Here's what you do from a beneficiary standpoint. You can choose any percentage you want. You can say 50% of the spouse or 50% of the kids. But typically what I see is the spouse will be 100% primary beneficiary. So as long as that spouse is alive, they're going to get the proceeds in full of the annuity that you list them as beneficiary. Then I see that the kids, and this will be typically 100%, and you can split it. So if there's 5 kids, it's 20% each. If you like one more kid better than the other and want them to fight after your death, do what you want. So that's secondary beneficiaries. That says secondary, I promise you. The wife dies with you, the kids get it, okay? Then you have grandkids, and this could be 100% tertiary, meaning 3, okay? So 1, 2, 3. All right, so you die, spouse is alive, they get the proceeds. You and your spouse die at the same time, kids get the proceeds. How about this? You and your spouse are alive and somehow the kids pass away, then the grandkids are going to move up to secondary. Does that make sense? Now, to throw one more wrinkle into this, you might have a trust set up that in trust, if you're not familiar with it, and you probably are, I'm thinking you are, all that is a legal document that dictates how you want the money to be distributed upon your death, right? So a lot of people, in lieu of putting all of this in place, they just have the trust as the beneficiary, and a lot of the annuity companies allow you to do that. They need a copy of this trust, etc. But we can help you with that if you become a client of Stan the Annuity Man. That's how that happens, okay? So some people just choose the trust. Some people, choose the percentages based upon, primary, secondary, and tertiary. So once again, this is all revocable, not irrevocable, revocable. You can change this at your whim. We can help you with that with the forms needed. What I would tell you to do is, if you have annuities, is always revisit the beneficiaries just to make sure that it's in line with what you're thinking. Just kind of like you revisit a trust every year, just to make sure that the distribution of your money is going to be on your terms and you can control it from the grave, because that's in essence what you're doing when you list out beneficiaries. All right, so I was talking to a client the other day, and he was really concerned because, everyone says their family is always going to get along and everything's going to go hunky-dory. Let me just tell you something, and I think you understand this. When it comes to money, nothing goes smoothly, and especially with family, right? So he was concerned that when he passed, there would be this argument about the percentages, and I thought what he did was fair, and that it would be challenged and all this stuff. Now, here's the interesting part about the annuity side and listing of beneficiaries. When you die, and you list your beneficiaries, that annuity passes probate free. I mean, you're not going to have issues. I'm not saying they can't frivolously sue, but it's pretty tight from the standpoint of what your wishes are, because it's in writing, it's legal tender within the application and reflected in the policy. So I just told them not to worry about it, let them fight it out, and write them a little note to quit their bitching about getting money, because a lot of people aren't as fortunate enough to have that type of legacy and inheritance coming their way. So, hopefully that's not your family. I've seen it happen. Believe me, I've seen it happen with families that say, hey, it'll never happen to my family. It might. So the beneficiary side is important because you can set it up to make sure that the money is going to be distributed exactly how you want it to be distributed. Hey, thanks for hanging in there with me. I did another video on what are like surrender charges with annuities. That, since you're talking about beneficiaries, you might want to understand the surrender charge penalties and periods and how that all works with specific types of annuities, because that coincides as well. In the majority of annuities that are out there, when you die, if there's surrender charges left in the policy, those are wiped away cleans. The vast majority. There are some that they're not, but I cover that in that video, which is probably something that coincides with this one that you want to take a look at as well. If you want to see something specific on your goals and your portfolio and let us put a customized plan together, go to StanleyAnnuityMan.com and you can get some books there. I've written a bunch of books. Oh, by the way, I've written a bunch of books, and we'll send them to you for free. And I do a podcast as well. Subscribe to this channel. The Stanley Annuity Man YouTube channel is putting out a video every single day, Monday through Friday, for infinity. As long as I'm here kicking it around and wearing these bright sweatsuits, I'll be doing it, educating you, because why? I'm America's annuity agent.